Corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please?
Damn good coffee and hot.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
Thank God. Thank God. Can you hear me there? Okay. Thank God it's Friday. Because, lower that music a little bit. Where are you rock stars? These kids today. All they want to do is rock out. All they want to do is rock out. But thank God it's Friday because it's been a long week. It's been a long week. Rock out. Oh, yeah. That's that. Good morning, folks. It is Friday. April 28th, 2023. Great to have you here as always. Been messing with the setup, and I think I screwed some things up because I was trying to rectify a situation that Craig Johnson let me know about yesterday, which was that there was an echo coming through on the radio side, which I don't like. And now it seems I have screwed some stuff up where I think the echo is gone. I can't check while I'm doing this because that will create an echo and a feedback loop. But I think the echo is gone. But I think also the StreamYard feed, the other side, not my voice, the rest of it is not coming through. We'll get it worked out over the weekend. I promise you, Monday morning you'll have a pristine radio side of it, and this side will be just as shitty as it always is. Anyway, I don't have a guest today. I thought about running or rerunning a rerun of the Henry Phillips interview I did last Tuesday night as a bogus Coffee with the Dog morning show, but then thought, nah. That's what I thought. Nah. And nah seems to be the way to go here. Anyway, so I'm here. I don't know why I'm here, but I am here. And there's not a whole lot to talk about except, I don't know if you care about any of this. First of all, I think the world has gone totally melodramatic, crazy, and stupid. Crystal Ball, which curse her fucking parents for naming her that. Crystal Ball. I wonder if she could see the future. She tweeted something this morning about Biden not participating in debates. We need to assess his ability to continue on with the job. No, we don't. We don't need to assess it. We know he's too old for the job. What do you mean assess? You mean, expose or illuminate, or the 5 people who don't know he's an Alzheimer's patient yet, we need to convince them. Like for what? Oh, the stakes are too high. What the fuck are the stakes? Really, what are the stakes? We've been drifting along in this clusterfuck of humanity trying to figure out what's right and what's wrong for so long, it doesn't matter. And you know what? As much as I despise Trump, he doesn't matter either. None of this fucking shit matters. America is not as important as it thinks it is. And there's nothing any one person can do or will do as president of the United States to change the clusterfuck that this roller coaster has no real end except going over a cliff eventually. And I understand if you're a young parent, you're concerned about the future. But someday you will not be a young parent. You'll be an old geezer like me. And the future will be more and more meaningless as the days of your life become less and less. The stakes are not too high. The stakes are live for today, enjoy today, die tonight if you have to, or try to make it through one more day. I'm so sick of all the melodrama. Oh my God, if Trump becomes president, the world's going to come to an end. Oh my God, if we let Biden run again and he wins again, what could happen? What could happen? Russia takes over America, China takes over Russia. Who gives a fuck? At the end of the day, I'll still be here in this little box until I die. This little fucking box on streaming nonsense TV. The stakes are not too high, folks. Don't get caught up in all the chicken little running around nonsense that people want you to get. Like, I'm not saying don't care at all. You can participate, but acting like the world's going to come to an end. Now, this particular issue is whether Marianne Williamson or Robert F. Kennedy Jr. should debate Joe Biden. Like either one of those have a fucking chance of winning against Trump or DeSantis anyway. Marianne Williamson is a kook. Robert F. Kennedy is a similar kook, but a crook. We forget about the Kennedys. People talk, oh, Robert F. Kennedy. Yeah, besides the fact that he's an anti-vax kook, conspiratorial kook, I'm using the word kook a lot here today. I think I've used up my allotment of kooks today, so I have to find a new word. Google me a new word. Hey Siri, find me a new word that sounds like that means the same as kook. Don't talk when I'm talking. Rude. First of all, I like Siri better when she was a girl. Yeah. Anyway, you're talking to me now? In the middle of a show, a fucking robot wants to talk to me. Anyway, so I don't know if you're yeah. Good morning, Ian. I still haven't heard from Frank, so you're still in the running there. Frank, if you're listening, we need a good email address to send you your prize of 2 nights, 3 days in Austin, Texas, to see Doug Stanhope tape whatever that is going to be. Personally, coming back to that for a second, Doug Stanhope is taping 2 days in a row at Rogan's mothership in Austin, Texas in May 16th and 17th. Monday and Tuesday at noon. I think, well, I don't know who came up with this idea, but I can't imagine that being the best Doug Stanhope show to see. At noon, lunchtime, on a Monday and Tuesday. First of all, Monday is a drag just in the name itself. It's a drag. You wake up on Monday morning, okay, I got Doug Stanhope to see at noon today. Yay. But the crowd is probably not going to be, I don't know, energetically wise, ready to support the taping of a special. I just don't see it. Now, maybe I'm wrong. I could be way wrong. I've been way wrong about shit before. I'm prepared to be way wrong about this again. But if it were me, I would just go the traditional route and do it at a regular show at night when people are more receptive to comedy. Lunchtime, everybody wants a laugh, no matter what time of day it is. But lunchtime on a Monday, first of all, maybe he's looking for a more sober crowd because nobody's going to start drinking. What the fuck is going on now? Sarah Kumquat? People, I'm getting all these weird messages that are text messages that are being sent now. Is it? These are all from the radio side. Sarah Kumquat commented. What is? I'll get back to that later. Um, so I don't know. We're not. I'm going to tell you this. I'm not doing any more good deeds, contests, any of this kind of stuff ever again. It's just it's too much of a headache, and it never. People are always angry in the end. Whether the rules or the pattern was too confusing for some people, or some people think it's just unfair or whatever. And then we have people claiming the prize, but giving you a bad email address, and then you go buy tickets for them, and you can't deliver them, and you can't change the name on a flight ticket. You can cancel it and start all over again. It's work. I didn't sign up for that. Anyway, I'm not doing that anymore. In the Atlantic today, a couple of articles caught my attention. Uh, one of them is I don't want to smell you to get high. Uh, I don't want to smell you get high. It's about people. I didn't smell you to get high. I don't want to smell you get high. That's not a great way to say what basically Ron DeSantis said about New York. You can't walk through the streets without it stinking like weed. Now, I, I get that. When I came out of the Stanhope show last year, around this time, last April, uh, walking through the streets from the Sony Theater to Penn Station, I got a contact buzz without. I mean, the smell of reefer was so strong in Manhattan that you could get high for free. And people who don't want to get high, I understand that, you know, they don't want to deal with people getting stoned all the time because then and they don't like the smell. Now, I happen to like the smell of marijuana, uh, and I think anybody who partakes for a long enough time comes around to that, even if you don't like it at first. But imagine you're in the heart of New York City, for example, on the steps of Madison Square Garden. One day, one of the very first things you would notice there, no matter the time of day or the weather, would be the pungent aroma of burning reefer. This would also be the case if you found yourself at the entrance to the Q train in Union Square, or at a chessboard in Washington Square Park, or under some scaffolding. Yeah, on and on and on. The city stinks like weed. The city definitely stinks like weed, and it's going to. I think eventually, once the I don't know the newness of it being legal in America, or New York, it's not legal in America, by the way. Once the newness of it being legal in New York um, subsides, I think it won't be as prevalent. But hey, you know what? People are free now. People are free to smoke. Smoke them if you got them, and they can't smoke indoors. So outdoors is the only place they can smoke. So it's gonna stink. Nobody ever complained about. Well, maybe they did, and I just didn't notice about the smell of tobacco. But tobacco is not as strong as reefer. Hey, you want to deal with the tax benefits and all the business that cannabis is creating, and cannabis is creating a lot of business, by the way. I don't know if they're all paying taxes. I think at some point the cannabis industry, whether here in New York, Oregon, wherever it's legal, is in for a day of reckoning with tax agents from the local state to say, "Hey, wait a minute. We know you got customers coming in here paying cash only, and you're letting them go without paying any taxes on it and all the benefit." The reason we legalized it in the first place was tax revenue and to create jobs. Well, they are creating jobs. I'll give them that. But I know for a fact, and as a cannabis user and somebody who loves it being legal, loves the not having to drive to the guy's house at night to get a bag that's not necessarily measured, and you don't even know the quality of it. Sometimes you're taking it. All that I like being able to walk into a store and say, "Give me the good shit," and the guy gives you the good shit. I love that. So I'm not trying to tear down the cannabis industry, but you got to start paying taxes, or they're going to reverse this shit, and I'm going to have to find a new guy and have to drive 40 miles to catch a bus, or 50 miles to catch a bus, or 100 miles, whatever it is. I don't want to go. I want to go to a guy around the corner and just walk in the store and say, "Give me the good shit." Speaking of the good shit, Carl's here. Carl's the good shit. I'm the bad shit. Carl's the good shit. And Carl is here now. Let's say hi to Carl. Hi, Carl.
Good morning, USA.
Now, USA is the only place that matters in the universe. You know that, right? America.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's why your sports have things called the World Series
Right.
in one country.
Well, I think that was
Yeah.
invented. The term World Series was invented 150 years ago when, I don't know, there were actually people who didn't know other places existed. I shouldn't say that because I think education was probably a little better 150 years ago whenever baseball was invented. I think it's really bad now. But I started this morning talking about all the melodrama about the presidential election in America is I think 18 months away, something like that. It's 16, 18 months away. And we're already like at melodramatic panic mode because we have two old geezers who are shitting their pants daily and need all sorts of Alzheimer's medication and all that kind of stuff just to get through the day. And people are saying the stakes are too high. Like, what are the stakes? I don't know. Or melodramatic, scared that the United States, if Trump or Biden is president next again, the world's going to end. The stakes are too high. The fuck won't affect anybody. It won't affect anything. We've seen this. We've had Trump. The world didn't fall apart. It was a little bit clusterfuck. We had Biden. The world didn't fall apart. It's a little bit clusterfuck. That's it. But it's not the end of the world. Or am I wrong?
It never is, and that's my true feelings on politics. That's why I don't really get involved in it, because I know I've seen it here, every kind of thing, and we see it from across your way. We had every kind of president. They all do bad things. They'll do maybe some good things happen under them.
Yeah.
People are still alive, you know.
Yeah. And I'll still be in this box until I'm dead.
Yeah, this is the only place we exist is in boxes on the internet. That's what these people don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Two-dimensional entities.
And I do feel like the world is a roller coaster that's built on a cliff, and it actually doesn't have an end. Eventually, or everybody in the roller coaster is flying over the cliff, and that's the end of it. That's how the story ends.
Yeah.
But there's nothing you can do about it, so you might as well just live for today.
Yeah, man. I agree.
If you get through today, then worry about tomorrow. Like
it's a bonus. It's a bonus. That's it. Make your little plans, but yeah, mostly day to day. You can get hit by a car tomorrow. You can have a brain aneurysm on the toilet this evening.
Yeah. You found a new bar in Manchester?
Yeah, I went out with a friend yesterday. There's 650 bars in quite a small area, but in the city there's probably a few hundred. But yeah, these little alleyways you find, and just popped into something new. So yeah, just went out.
I
for
think
a
you would like Lindenhurst. Lindenhurst, New York, has
where is it?
I don't know. I heard this. Now I've never checked. I never did a fact check, but they are very proud of the most bars per capita per square mile in this very small town.
Interesting.
Now they say they're in the Guinness Book of World Records, but that doesn't mean anything. You could pay the Guinness Book. We found out you could pay
Yeah, well,
Guinness
they
to
paid.
say anything. I could pay Guinness to say I have the largest cock. Could I? How much? How much could I pay Guinness to say?
They'd have to come and verify it. I think they also have to verify that you're not lying.
They do, or will
Sure.
enough money just pacify that? Like,
Well, maybe.
I could send pictures, and which could be photoshopped, which would need
Yeah.
to be photoshopped, obviously, because I
50
don't.
grand. It will give you. We'll give you 500 grand today, cash, if you just put this in your book.
Right, Matt Nappo has the largest cock in the history of humanity.
Yeah, you can use it on the promos.
It's bigger than his entire body. I have a 6'1" long cock that weighs 210 pounds. Wow.
And and it's got opposable thumbs as well.
But yeah, then nobody will
Made
want to
from
touch
veins.
it anyway. The other
think
thing,
some people
AI
will.
is a waste of time. This is in the Atlantic today, and I have not read the article, but dazzling technology can make you make us more productive and less productive at the same time. You're kind of a fan of AI, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so is it? Do you see a negative to the time, not to the evil use for it, but I mean, because that's pretty obvious. But it being unproductive and time wasting for us.
No, it's time efficient.
I would think so.
It's severely time. You can. Some people will be able to work 3 full-time jobs with it before people catch on. You don't even have to tell people above you. Developers, coders, marketers. You can just get it to do your work.
Now, yesterday I saw a thing on Twitter. It was from, I think it was that Dateline dude, the guy who used to catch predator, catch a predator guy.
Right.
But he
I
had
can't remember his name.
He had a woman on there who got a call from her daughter saying she was kidnapped, and they're holding me ransom, and they need this much money. And she was like devastated, but it wasn't her daughter; it was a voice clone of her daughter. And they were talking about, and the guy who, the expert they brought on, said he has a voice changer AI thing that he pays $5 a month for. That basically it will go out to the internet, find the person, find samples of them talking on some video, and then match anything you type in there, it will match for. Now he said $5 a month. That's the part I'm taking exception with, because the song I did cost me $1,500. I'm admitting to being a fool here, but I was experimenting with it. But to do a singing thing for a 3-minute song cost me $1,500. He's saying $5 a month. I think that's
I don't know. I mean, the text, the chatbot is $20 a month for the new generation of it, and the art programs are normally around 20-30 a month, depending on what you're spending, how much server time you're using. There's probably one cheaper than $1,500.
Yeah.
there's someone has created an AI oasis called AISIS, right? And they've done a whole lost album. And it's a band that's made the music, I think, but they've got the vocals through AI, and they've done, a 10-track lost album that's fake, but it sounds great. I've listened to one of the songs.
Very cool. I want to hear it now.
I'll dig it out. Yeah, I haven't listened to the whole thing, but
the reason I was looking for it, I wanted to get people, super celebrities, A-list celebrities, to do ID tags for Mind Dog Radio. This is Morgan Freeman. You're listening to Mind Dog Radio. I'll probably end up getting sued for that. Because
maybe don't say the name. Maybe don't say this is Morgan Freeman. Maybe they'll recognize the voice, right? It's probably one of the most famous voices in the world.
Oh yeah,
and then you just
I can't get sued. You think? Are you my lawyer?
I'm your lawyer, and that's fine. Just send them to me. Send the emails to me.
Okay. No, I but then I was looking for $5, and it's like there's nothing here for $5 that even comes close.
Yeah, I'll look into it. I haven't looked into the music side yet, but I might be able to find one. I've saved loads of Twitter threads from people posting big long.
Yeah, I'm not even interested at this point. I got the music thing down. I basically know that if I want to pay enough money, I can do a song with my voice changed through AI, or I can get, like, if I wanted Taylor Swift to sing one of my songs using this thing for enough money. But the ID calls and the celebrity ID calls, because first of all, I'm bashful to ask anybody who's been on the show. go back and say, "Hey, listen, I know you were on my show 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Could you do an ID for me?" Like, fuck
Yeah.
you, Mind Dog. I got 3 listeners out of you, and none of them came to see my shows. Why would I? Why would I do you a favor, Mind Dog? You're not even a mind dog. You're not even a mind or a dog. How
Or a
dare you?
TV.
Oh, I am a TV, but not in the sense of television.
I get it.
Transvestite.
I got
Um,
it.
yeah. And the other thing I wanted, I'm out of things to talk about here today, except Stephen Crowder. You know Stephen Crowder?
Yeah, brief. I mean, when he popped up years ago, yeah, but I didn't really pay much attention beyond the change my mind meme.
It's funny because people have been saying for years he makes fun of trans people way too often for it to not to be a closeted, like he enjoys dressing in drag, and he's one of these guys on the far right who is now like his hair is on fire because he's angry at the trans world and beer cans and whatnot. But he's got at least no exaggeration 200 clips of him in drag doing all sorts of kind of womanly things. Then he announced the other day that he was getting a divorce and all this stuff, and like, why now? Everybody knew about this. It was called Candace Owens out for extorting him over it, whatever. But everybody was speculating that there's more to this story. It's not just about his divorce. Why is he being all? Everybody gets divorced. It's not, no reason to get melodramatic about that. And so they released a tape yesterday of him. They showed a tape of him really abusing his pregnant wife, like being verbally abusive to her. And he's laying there on the couch and like looking slovenly, smoking a cigar, laying back. And he's like telling her, "Watch it. Don't talk to me like that. You need to be respectful of your man and keep her." And then he's angry that the state will allow her to get a divorce without his consent. And so, but then this morning, they released a full, longer version, and it occurred to me that they didn't release anything. She released it, the wife.
Yeah, that makes the most sense. Yeah, that would be. There's only two people who've got access to that. Their lawyers, maybe her and him, right? It's their home CCTV.
Yeah, so maybe her divorce lawyer. If I'm being totally fair, maybe her divorce lawyer did it.
Well, maybe she was advised to do it. Get the public opinion on side.
But it's a ring cam. Those doorbell cams. Only people who own that house had access to that. So she definitely. But it's funny. It's pretty funny to see him. He went from having 8 million followers on YouTube to banned from YouTube to go over to Rumble, where he's got 1.2. And as soon as all this stuff started coming out, now he's got numbers around my numbers, and it's. I'm sorry. Is that bad of me to laugh at his pain? Probably is. I don't know. Are you back? You're back. You say you're a. What'd you say about drinking? You drinking spurts? Is that what you said? No. We lost your volume. Oh, we heard that.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Getting low.
This piece of shit.
I'll send you a new mic. Hold on. It's on its way. No, we can't hear you. You're gone. Call is gone. Now it's a little breaking up. You got a loose wire. You got a loose wire in your nuts. A loose nut in your wires.
This is this microphone, so it shouldn't be loose.
Yeah, that's better.
Going wrong. Yeah.
It's cleaner. It could be a little louder. Can it be a little louder?
Let me find out. Let's keep working on that in front of the scenes.
That's good. That's fine. That's
fine.
Yeah. So what do you got planned? What do you got planned? You got anything planned? What happened? Did you mess with something? You're messing with something. Don't mess with stuff. I'm gonna have to do this. Oh, let's do this. Oh. Hey.
I can make my volume louder here.
Yes. Hi. Yeah. Hello. Hi. Hello. Oh, look at that. Get out of everybody. There. There's a big delay from there. No wonder Craig was hearing echo on the radio side, because I was using both computers there and this one over here to feed the radio side. So he's probably getting this one and that one, and they're a little bit delayed and off.
Agreed. That's what I think as well. Yeah, I do want to do some multi-camera stuff at some point, but StreamYard's, yeah, I've not tried it on StreamYard.
Everybody's coming out with these new streaming services to enhance your stream, stuff like StreamYard, but with more features.
Yeah.
It's a competitive field now, and I don't want to have to keep changing. I want to get used to something, but if there's something better, I'm definitely down for that.
Yeah, there's a couple of other ones. I can't remember. I think Restream, and there's another one as well that I've seen some channels using. You can optimize them quite well, I think. But...
Melon and Fluid or something like that. Fluid. I found out about last night. There's a whole bunch of them coming out now, and I'm getting offers all the time about them. But coming back to your drinking thing, you're back on the or off the wagon, on the way. I don't know how you're
on the wagon is not drinking. No, I just took a few weeks off. I just took 3 weeks off. I'm going to do it regularly. I want to get by the end of the year a certain percentage of not drinking. So many days. I've got a fucking spreadsheet.
But now I believe me, I am not judgmental in any way. Everybody's got their own thing. But and listen, drinking, you're not an angry drunk. Well, unless it's Ken Harris. Or some other dead-eyed cunt that pisses you off. You're not an angry drunk. You're a fun drunk,
really.
a happy
drunk.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
So I don't have any judgment against that. But when you piss down your own leg and want to sleep in it, I have to say maybe.
Well, that wasn't. No, I was sober. That wasn't drinking. That wasn't that, and it wasn't pissing the bed. I went for a piss as normal, tucked it back in, and then I got some drippage, and I was like, "Fuck it, I'm going to sleep."
Oh yeah, no, I'm with you on that. I'm totally. I'm vote for Carl. Carl's on the.
Thank you very much. Me for president. Let me drink. God damn it.
No,
I'm in a drinking phase again now.
I thought you were laying in bed, felt piss in your leg, and decided instead of taking care of the piss, I'm going to tweet about it. No. I'm going to get.
I've never pissed the bed. I've never pissed the bed in all my years of thousands of times of drinking. I've never pissed the bed.
Wow, good for you.
Good boy. Yeah. When that starts happening, I might quit.
I have a thing where if I'm on the road too long, and it has been a while, but if I'm away from home for too long, I end up suddenly pissing the bed. Like, what the fuck happened? Like, I don't know. Maybe it's a different place. In my dreams, I know what's happening. It's like the trigger to wake up. It's like
I've been close. Yeah, I've been close in dreams, like really thinking about needing to pee in a dream, and then waking up and it's close. You have to get to the toilet. But yeah, different place can affect.
So good. So you're not peeing the bed because you're drunk. No. You're peeing your leg because you missed. That's fine. That happens.
Not missed, but I just didn't.
Yeah, it just dribbles. You get a dribble. So, yeah. You know what will happen? And this is a cautionary tale for people with penises. If you have a long pubic hair that will wrap in front of your dick hole and you pee, it could cause water and piss to go in many directions.
Oh, I've got like 3 streams anyway. I swear there's 3 fucking holes every time. It's just
call 3 streams. That's it. That should be your name. You brought up Oasis. I got to tell you about this. Noel Gallagher is bringing his band to my neighborhood.
Oh, really?
Yes. And I have an in at the venue to get backstage.
Go do it.
Pretty exciting, right?
Yeah.
You think he'll talk to me?
I've no idea.
Yeah.
Well, I think he's a nice guy, but also,
yeah, especially
in that
situation. I'm doing a show. It's not like if I saw him someplace else and asked him if I could get a few words from him. It's like in the middle of a show, right? So, or at the end of a show or before a show. So he's probably not going to want to talk to me. But I'm definitely going to make it. It's in July, early July. He'll be here. Also,
I'm seeing him in August here, right here.
And what's the name of his new band? It's something really silly, right?
High Flying Birds.
High Flying Birds, yeah. Okay. Now, also, the day after him is Manchester Orchestra, who's never been to Manchester, I believe. It's not an orchestra. It's a guy. Do you know about Manchester Orchestra?
No, I know that there's a local orchestra. I didn't know there was a man called Manchester Orchestra. Maybe I should have known that.
It's a guy. One guy who calls himself Manchester Orchestra.
Well, I think actually the guy I'm trying to see today, but I might have to just rock up and see if I can get in for a signing thing. It's called Reverend and the Makers, but I think it's just one guy.
Yeah.
Is it?
See, when I had the Rock the Cash Bar people on, we started to touch on these things. How when I was 11 years old in 7th grade, I got beat up by a girl for thinking Alice Cooper was a woman. And all these bands that in Lynyrd Skynyrd for years people thought it was a guy named Lynyrd Skynyrd. Ben, I'm sorry. Ben said the other day he thought Violent Femmes were actually two women who just like beating each other up and all. So
What did they think the Beatles were?
that's a good one. Crickets. Well, Beatles were named. They took their name from Buddy Holly and the Crickets, right? No, but yeah, I get your point. Yeah, it's a little silly to take band names literally, but Bare Naked Ladies, I thought until even after I heard them, it's like Bare Naked Ladies. Are they ladies? No,
I just know the one song that talks about the X-Files, so I just knew that one.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, you don't know Bare
I
Naked?
knew they were men. I know they are, but they had over here. It was one hit, and that was
wow.
That
1 week? Is that the one? Is
1 week? Yeah, that's the one. That's the one that it was just on the radio all summer 1 year.
I hate that song. That's their worst song. They're really good.
It's overplayed. I still like it because I just like the lines about the X-Files and the smoking man.
Oh yeah. And is that there's a politically incorrect line in there that I thought of the other night because I was contacting Stephen Page, who was one of the two main founders, lead singers, and songwriters for the group. He might be on the program soon, but I was contacting him and I was going through their catalog and I thought about 1 week. And I said, well, that would never make it on the radio today because of this line. And now I can't remember what the line was.
Well, I'm looking through the lyrics now. I can't see anything that stands
Something
out.
about the Chinese chicken? No.
Oh, Chickadee China, the Chinese chicken. You have a drumstick, but your brain stops ticking, right? Chickadee China.
I don't know. Just saying Chinese could get you in trouble. I don't know. Chinese?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't think it's as bad as you think. I think Chickadee China, is that a chain in the US? I've no idea.
Yeah.
But I guess if you're doing the accent, you wouldn't be able to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Then they're a Canada band, by the way. But
Canadonia.
I was thinking that now UK can probably take umbrage with this. Canada has are you getting a call? Put them through.
Hello.
Great musicians per capita based on population. And they're all subjects of the Queen or King now. The UK, Canada, and Australia are in a tight competition for best music, a quantity of music per capita.
That's interesting because Australia, they're both pretty sparse countries, right?
Right.
Canada and Australia. There's not most of the land is empty.
I think they're all about the same. I mean, Australia has 18 million people. I think the UK has 18 million people, right?
No, we've got about 65.
Oh, 65 million. Oh, yeah. So that's
in a small space, whereas Australia's got a huge amount of land, but like 5 cities.
Right. They're like the same as Florida, towns. I think. But Canada, I don't even know what the population of Canada is, but I got to think.
Live right now.
Yeah, because you talk about land, I got to think like,
38 million.
38? 48.
Mm-hmm. 38.
Well, yeah, so that's not a lot. For all the great acts that come out of Canada, they blow, when we're talking about people who think the United States is everything and anything in the world, they blow America away with the number of quality, music.
Yeah, I mean, you've got what, 360 million?
Yeah.
If you've got, yeah. So, statistically, America is untalented.
We suck.
Statistically, you're still going to get the outliers. You've still got great things,
right?
And arguably, a lot of the best movies have come from America. Arguably, but I think there's been a lot of good movies and art, that kind of stuff. But over the years,
I think America gave the world the blues, which is the heart of rock and roll. But after that, we stopped trying. okay, we're done. We came up with, and we didn't even really do that. Slaves
It's,
from Africa.
it is interesting per capita because you've probably got a lot of good musicians, but then I mean a lot of good bands as well. But with a population of 300 million or whatever you've had through the years, that would be interesting to track that.
You still got a guitar?
No, I haven't had one for a while, but I'm gonna get one again.
Are you the only person in the UK who does not have one?
I'm probably the only person in Manchester without a guitar. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm in the center of Music Central right here.
I think the world has a overpopulation of guitars. I really do.
Maybe.
Mike Vanderveen was on yesterday. You know, he's not like a full-time musician. I asked him how many guitars he has. It's 6. How many do you play? 1. It's like,
well, I always wanted 10. You know, you wanted one of everything, right? But I got to the point where I had 3, and I ended up selling 2 of them, and the other one I just didn't play for a while, and I ran out of money, so I sold the last one. But I wanted a Les Paul, but these were Epiphones as well. I couldn't afford a Gibson at the time. Les Paul, a 355 semi-acoustic thing, and an acoustic, electric acoustic. They're the 3 that I had. I wanted. I don't think I ever wanted a V, a flying V.
Oh yeah, me neither. For some reason, that guitar repulses me. It really does. It's like, ew, and you can't sit with it ever. I mean, maybe you can.
I like the look of some Telecasters. Look really nice. There's some nice covers they got on those as well.
I like a Tele. You know, over here, there's this whole Telecaster purist movement where it is the only guitar that a lot of guys will play.
But isn't there a purist movement for everything? There's definitely Strat guys, and there's definitely they're great. They're good guitars, but there's definitely the one. This is all you have to play. You only need to buy Fender even.
Right, but I don't see the kind of, maybe I should look whether there's like Stratocaster and Les Paul societies. But there is definitely a Telecaster society where people just, you know, put the Telecaster on an altar and bow down to it and pray to it.
Yeah, but aren't there also Les Paul? But there's a crazy Les Paul community, right?
Maybe there is. I don't know. I got to look. But on your note, Epiphones are better than Gibsons now. And that's probably going to get some hate mail coming in. But it's an absolute fact. The quality control of first of all, they're the same company. Gibson.
Yeah, they just use cheaper parts, right? So they just use cheaper humbuckers, like for a Les Paul, and cheaper electronics. So you can tell that it's like more plasticky knobs, that kind of stuff. But the standards are pretty good for Epiphone.
Yeah, and the quality control, because Gibsons coming out of the factory right now, every single one has a problem. If you buy a new Gibson, you get it and you're like, it needs to be set up. It needs to have things changed. They're cheaping out on hardware, all that kind of stuff, quality control.
They fucking shouldn't for the price you're paying for those things.
Right.
You can get an Epiphone for $500, right? You might pay $2-3 grand for. Plus, you know you can buy older Gibsons for like $20 grand. You know, 1952.
Yeah.
Unique thing, but there's a really cool guitar shop that I found in the Northern Quarter here. I'm going to go in there. They've got some really nice stuff.
Yeah,
I'm interested, but I'm just going to get some cheapies first.
So 5 times the price just for the name on the headstock is really what you're paying, and
because you can also get an Epiphone and change out all the stuff. You can put higher quality humbuckers in them, and for like a couple of $100.
You got stuck doing this. I was going to take my penis out and measure.
Penis in there, yeah. But still penis in there, yeah.
Can I measure? That's about it for me, folks. I'm kidding.
And that might be something I do if I get into it. If I get into guitars again, which I think I might one day, I might do stuff like that. Just butcher cheap guitar.
Next time you come over here, you're leaving not with a beat up old laptop, but with a beat up old guitar.
All right, I'll pay the extra luggage. I'll take a guitar off here. Shannon's boyfriend actually.
Have to pay for luggage.
Shannon something's boyfriend. He's got a few little businesses because he doesn't like real jobs. But one of his stuff, he refurbs guitars. So he'll get a piece of shit like Child's guitar and put like decent electronics in it and make a really nice cover. And he plays this Child's guitar on stage. But people are expecting it to sound shit. But he's done so much work on it that it sounds amazing.
Right. You know, that was something I started a war over on social media about 10 years ago, because there was this big argument about guys who swear they can tell on a record what guitar somebody's playing. Oh, that's a Les Paul. I know the sound. That's a Telecaster. I know the sound.
Well,
And
it's harder now with mods and stuff, right? Because
right.
you can be playing a piece of shit, but put it
Oh,
through a
there's
mod
always
that making it sound like a Les Paul.
yeah, and amp settings, tone controls. Even if you go back to the 70s when things were all just tubes and transistors or whatever, settings make a big difference and they can fuck with your ear. So I always said, you know what? The wood doesn't matter on a guitar. And that caused, guitar purists like, why do why would they bother cutting all this wood like a Les Paul and a Telecaster or Strat? Why would they bother if the wood doesn't matter? I said, I don't know, but it doesn't, and we can do a sound test, like a Coke Pepsi blindfold test. Go in the studio. I'll have a guitar player go in the main room and play a riff, and you tell me what guitar he's on blindfolded. And this guy Joe said, "Okay." And we got a Telecaster, a Strat, and a Les Paul, and he was getting it. He was like 80% right, getting it right 80% of the time. But then we had a guitar pickup put into a microwave oven with a neck on it. And it was a microwave oven guitar, and I put it in there, and he said, and he was blindfolded. I said, "What guitar is that?" He said, "That's definitely a Les Paul." I was like, "Wrong. Oh, it's got to be a Telly then. We're in the bridge pickup." No, open your eyes, take the thing off. I'm like, oh, I guess the wood doesn't matter that much. If a microwave oven can sound,
You can you can make almost anything sound good now. I mean, you remember C6 Steve? I don't know if he's still around.
yeah.
He was a homeless guy, but his main guitar was like a hubcap and a fucking 2 bits of
Right.
string.
Yeah.
But it sounded great with the slide. It sounded fucking amazing. It had such a great tone.
Yeah. Ian brought up baritone ukuleles yesterday. Now, here we have an epidemic of ukulele playing. Do you guys get that? Ukulele people over there?
There's a lot. If you go to a guitar shop, there's always a bunch of ukuleles in the window.
Right. I don't know when that happened, when people all of a sudden discovered ukuleles, and now it's like that, but to me,
it's kooky. It's a kooky, like, hipster instrument, isn't it? It's different to a guitar, and it's like, look at me, I can play the little thing.
Funny because for me, you have bagpipes, you have banjo, and then you have ukulele on the annoyance scale. Ukulele being less, as you go higher, it's less annoying, but only slightly less annoying than tenor banjo.
There's a girl online that plays like rock and roll songs on bagpipes. She does solos and stuff, like guitar solos. It's quite interesting. But yeah, bagpipes are a grating noise. I do like it when I go to Scotland because you come out, you get out the train station or whatever, and they say, you hear it for like 5 minutes. Oh, I'm in Scotland, but then it's annoying.
Yeah, you never see the mass shooters going after the bagpipe people. I'm just saying. You're going after kids. Why not go after the bagpipe people? Then nobody would care. Oh, a group of bagpipe players were gunned down today. All right, good for them.
What about panpipes?
Oh,
Peruvian panpipes.
I have one. Well,
there's a great South Park episode where the Peruvian cover band artists were keeping giant gerbils inside their dimension and protecting the earth, and that's what their role was.
This is something I fell for. I'm not going to do it now, but I heard a guy playing it. It was like beautiful, and you'd have to do it for a lifetime to get any.
Yeah,
sound
they've learned to do it in a village somewhere in fucking Ecuador.
You really have to go live in a cave somewhere and just practice it day and night for your entire life to be able to play one song.
What's it called?
This is called a panpipe, but it was, obviously it is a 3D printed, bastardized panpipe that they could sell for $5 or $10, whatever the fuck I paid online. But they call it a panpipe, but it's not a panpipe. It's like I got a saxophone that was similar. It looks like a clarinet. It looks like a soprano sax, but it's made out of plastic like this too. But there's a lot of that going on. 3D printed instruments. You into that 3D printing stuff?
I am interested in it, and I was going to think about start doing it at some point as well, but not yet. I'll be reading about it. But
My grandson got one for his birthday, and it was a big one. And I'm just thinking about all the implications, all the things you could. Now it's expensive. The materials are expensive. The machine is expensive.
It depends what you do. It's not because you can get a starter machine for like $300, but a better one for $700. Some are enclosed, and it's about the size of the thing, how stable it is, and then what material you use is about 20-30 a roll for the graphite. But there's different types of material you can use as a resin or something else, and some of those are more expensive. But it depends what you're making. I was thinking of like mic stand clips and shit like that.
Yeah.
You just print a bunch of them and sell them.
I wonder, what are the limitations on that? Could you? Obviously, people have made guns in 3D printers.
If you know what you're doing, yeah.
Could you make a car or a vehicle that actually works?
Have someone done it already? You could probably make. If you had a big one, you could probably make it in pieces, right? But yeah, I don't know. Interesting. 3D printed car. Let's have a look. Pull that up, Jamie. Can a car be 3D printed? Additive manufacturing is following. Many vehicles are designed partially or entirely using 3D tech. Yeah, but they're not printed, right? How much is a 3D printed car? A 3D printed hypercar costs $1.7 million, but that's 1,200 horsepower. Yeah.
A little beyond my budget. I kind of.
But in principle, you could do anything. If you can print something big enough, have a big enough platform, or lots of pieces that can fit together. Yeah.
A rocket to the moon, a rocket to Mars. Can we do that? That won't blow up.
You might need more. You might need more metal.
Yeah.
Than plastic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Not a rocket scientist.
So you know about this blue sky thing. Because I just mentioned rockets blowing up, and Blue Sky is Jack Dorsey, the guy who used to be the CEO of Twitter. He made a clone on Mastodon of Twitter. It's called Blue Sky. But I'm following him now on Twitter. Musk let him, I guess, be part of that and promote his stuff. I'm surprised by that because that doesn't seem like maybe. It's just temporary because eventually he'll ban them. But
I think they stepped back. They were banning promotion of other sites, but they quickly changed that. I think because they realized that it was just ridiculous. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Twitter's still the best site, and it's going to remain the best site for many years until something else happens, which is I don't know when that's going to happen.
Why? What makes it the best site? People are on there.
We're all on it. We're all on it every day.
Nobody wants to jump ship. That's
But it's because all the other platforms are shit. Mastodon is shit. They're all shitty. They're less usable.
I know. I signed up for one and never went back.
I signed up for Mastodon. I was on it for 2 days.
Yeah, I never went back.
This is awful. I'm going back to...
Exactly. And it's slow and clunky and really hard to get used.
Twitter's got its problems, and there's a lot of teething problems right now. I don't know what will happen in the future with it, but I still like it. I still use it every day. And I've curated mine to be pretty good. I don't see too much shitbaggery on there because most of the things I interact with are things that I want to.
That's not really my concern is not what I'm seeing. It's that nobody's seeing. If I put if I put something on there that's promotion. The only reason I used Twitter in the beginning was why I got back on Twitter was to promote this or the podcast and stuff. And I don't think anybody beyond my friends are seeing them, and my first 100 followers are my friends in real life. People I grew up with, people who know me, but they aren't even on Twitter. So people who come to my gigs, for the most part, are not on Twitter. So I'm promoting for people who can't, even if they were wanted. They're
on Facebook. You're probably more likely to get more luck on Facebook, right?
Yeah,
from a boost a Facebook post or something.
I'm not sure any of it works, and this is a discussion I was having with Henry Phillips.
It definitely works, but it might not work for you or for us. I don't know, but I've seen people use it and do well.
Does it really work though? I mean, for Steve Byrne or Doug Stanhope or Erica Rose or any of these people who are on Twitter, and are people actually going to their shows because they learned about it on
Every,
Twitter?
every ticket I buy is from Twitter or Instagram. Almost
Really?
everything. Yeah, because that's where I see stuff. I'm like, if I see a lot of stuff on Twitter for music now, because I follow a lot of music people on Twitter when they're posting stuff or when other people are promoting their stuff. Like the thing today, I found out through Twitter. I still don't know if I can go because I fucked up the tickets.
That's surprising to me. So I'm dead wrong about this because
Yeah, you honestly, most people, I think a lot because Twitter's the only place I don't go on any news site. I don't really use Facebook anyway, really.
no, I know.
So Twitter and Instagram are the only place I can possibly see something. And I
No,
see a lot.
no. They're not the only place.
So I think you're right, but it might not work for you with your
No,
stuff. Like
I
you said, a lot of
understand.
people that you sell to might not be on
I
there.
understand, and I'm fully accepting responsibility for being wrong about this. But and I fell into the trap of the marketing trap of you are not the customer. Don't think just because you behave a certain way that the public. But the one place that I see where I get most of my information about shows from is email. So you mentioned all those other platforms. I will agree that Twitter is the only place you will find out about it for you personally. But
I get some through email, but I pay less attention to my email than I do Twitter. It's the first thing I switch on.
If
bad
you
as that
got
is.
an email that said I don't know Tim Dillon coming to Manchester, you would open.
Yeah, well, because yeah, I do, and I'm on Louis C.K.'s mailing list. On Stanhope's mailing. You know, I found out about Louis' special from his mailing list because he sends an email out, and he doesn't have social media really.
Stanhope is the worst email manager, and I know it's not him. It's probably Charlie, somebody who works for him. He sends me. You should have it demographically or geographically worked out so that you're not wasting emails on people who.
I thought that's how it's supposed to work. But yeah, I got one the other day for some dates in Canada or something.
Yeah, and I got some ones in Australia. Like, dude,
yeah,
I
know that's
you.
what I got. Yeah.
I'm a fan, but I'm not flying 18 hours and paying $5,000 to go see you. It's a waste.
Yeah, I think I've heard them say before that it is supposed to be by your area, by your state or whatever. But it's obviously not
working out that way. But that's where I find out about most of the shows that I'm interested in is through email marketing. Still, now I know a lot of marketers will tell you email's dead. Whatever, but I don't.
It's not dead. It's not dead. You're right. I find out about some stuff as well because, especially Gmail or whatever, they know when you've been to a venue. They know when I've been to Wembley Arena, so Wembley Arena will send me an email for 10 years when someone's.
Yeah. On that note, I got at least 50 sign-ups to the Rockin' 45's email list last night from Russia, from Russian-based emails. I don't know that now.
Well, that doesn't sound like very good potential customers, does it?
No, but in one night, that's a lot for Russian emails to get on my list. I like what happens. Like,
well, I guess a bot found your email address or the subscribe thing, and then
but what do they get out? What do they get out of it? They get put into my email bucket, and then they're going to get spammed from. I mean, what as a hacker?
Well, they might want your email to spam you or to send you phishing links or whatever. So
as soon as I send them their first email, they take a note of that, and then they can.
Maybe, yeah. They do all kinds of shit. You know, everyone does it. There's lots of those little farms that scour the internet for email addresses and sign ups and all that stuff.
Last night I got a Call Man is on Twitch notification. I went there and Call Man was not on Twitch.
Call Man was not on there for long. I went on and played 2 songs in bed drunk, and then I realized Divinely Cursed, which is Old Grumpy Mama's son, was streaming, so I just cancelled mine and went on his. But I was hammered as well, so I played 2 songs. I played like a Batman theme tune and something else, and then stopped.
I really want to get on Twitch and do something worthwhile on Twitch rather than something much different than this. Songwriting thing, but I can't figure. You have Twitch figured out, not to the extent that Henry Phillips or Brett Brock does, as far as gaining followers and stuff. But you have it figured out and can do things with it. For me, it's a confusing platform. You have to be on
You just
Streamlabs OBS to use it.
no. I use StreamYard. You use StreamYard, so I just StreamYard just to Twitch when I do Twitch, right? So I just connect that.
Oh, just to Twitch. Okay.
Yeah, because if you once you've gone through the affiliate thing, you can only stream there. Because now what I'll do is stream to Twitch and put a video up on YouTube, or I'll cut it and put it up on YouTube later. But I'll do other things to YouTube as well. If you're going to do something different, don't put it to YouTube, put it to Twitch, and then put the video on YouTube later.
That's my
do.
plan to do. But
because
what has me confused is
it's easier to get money through Twitch, basically.
You have the same stuff that Brock has running. That's why I asked if you use Streamlabs or OBS. The stuff where those notifications come up in the chat, like.
So that's just from Twitch. So I use StreamYard at the moment. I might switch to Streamlabs, but there's also a Twitch Stream Manager in your background. So in there you can edit the title, the go live notification, the tags, and all that stuff. And that's where you will see StreamYard isn't good at pulling some things through into the chat, like channel redeems or point redeems or alerts, that kind of stuff. You can see that on that other tab.
What the hell?
I can show you one day.
What the hell is Ian saying here? I think he's trying to speak English to you. Blimey, fix myself a stream in it.
Governor?
I don't know what that means.
Fix
myself a stream.
I think. Blimey, fix myself a stream in it. He's doing that.
Yeah, no. But so and the other stuff, because I don't know if Brock actually has. Brock has underneath his stuff all sorts. I guess it's in Twitch. I have to look at the actual.
So with the overlays, because he's using Streamlabs, he set up those overlays and all that kind of stuff. So you can put anything you want. There's apps and widgets you can stick on for followers and alerts and last followers or artwork. You've got that he has his artwork rotated and that kind of stuff. That's just windows in basically Streamlabs. Which is very similar to OBS.
You were there. Did you see it? Does he have two computers running or just one?
He's got two computers, but he runs it from one.
And because he has two cameras, so two cameras going into
just two webcams. Just two webcams. That's it. It's super basic. He's got two webcams going into USB. One, because you can set up those separate windows then, right? So you can in OBS, it's more you can control it more of what you want, and then you can put in transitions and all that kind of stuff as well, where you're sort of like video editing transitions, I guess, but live.
I almost bit the bullet, did something with the bullet, with Telestream. Is that what it's called? I forget now. I used to use it for live streams all the time. It's a dedicated video switcher app that we used to use for live streams back when I was in Hair Designer TV and we did live shows.
Hair Designer TV.
Yeah, Hair Designer TV. But it is a kind of like a robust video switcher. I almost bought bit the bullet to buy that last week, thinking, StreamYard is okay. It is what it is. It's very easy to use.
Well, but I might go with the video switcher for in-person stuff, pre-record in-person stuff with the camera and a little video switcher. You can pick them up, you get a little Tascam thing, even a bit of hardware.
Yeah,
they're not that expensive, but.
Now, are you doing any streams today or over the weekend?
Yeah, actually, time's got away from me. I want to. I'm going to do a stream in like an hour or so for a couple of hours, and then at the weekend, probably Sunday. But again, I'm trying to buy tickets for things, but certain websites are fucking me over right now, so it's tough. I'm gonna have to go to places and all this stuff. But yeah,
I got tomorrow. I have a nightmare. I have 3 gigs tomorrow. I have. A daytime gig at the brewery, a day drinking gig. It's 3 to 6 at West Hampton Beach Brewery. Now, West Hampton Beach is it's a little nose in the air, highbrow. It's rich people now getting prepared for the summer season in the Hamptons. So I'm going to be playing for them while they play board games from 3 to 6 tomorrow. Then I have a 7 to 10 that is an hour away. So as soon as that gig, I got to pack up car and drive as fast as I can like a madman. And then I have an 11 to 3 gig on bass with a rock band after that. So
Life on the road, baby.
Yeah,
What you wanted. That's what you wanted. You want to be busy.
I would. I question my decision making on doing 3. 2 is good. It's been a long time since I did 3 in a day, and switching gears from playing 2 acoustic
And for
shows to
hours
playing,
as well. Hours and hours of it. What are you doing? Like 9 hours of gig or something?
yeah,
10.
and then playing bass with a rock
That's wild.
band is going to be a complete like switching gears. Haven't done that in a while, but I'm looking forward to doing that because I like playing bass. I miss
Have
playing
a
bass.
great day.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in one band once, and they gave me the fucking bass, and I played bass, and then I told the singer-songwriter that his songs were shit, and then they never invited me back. That's my only experience being in a band.
Were his songs shit, or you just saying that to hurt him?
No. It was like I just said they're all a bit like Nirvana. Do you know what I mean? It's just a quiet bit and a loud bit, you know. Some quiet
Yeah.
chords, and then the distortion pedal comes in. I said they're all. That's what I said in a pub after like 11 beers, and he never invited me back, and then came round to pick the bass up, and never told me that he'd replaced me. But yeah.
Well, Kelly is on Twitter saying finding coffee with the dog was helpful down the bare naked ladies rabbit hole. Now, all these songs that she has listed,
I'll have to go down the rabbit hole.
If I Had $1 Million is a shitty song. It's Bare Naked Ladies' biggest hit before 1 Week came out. It's really silly. If I had $1 million, I would buy you a house. And it was him and Ed going back and forth. If I had $1 million, I'd do this. If I had $1 million, I'd do that. It's kind of silly, but that was their biggest hit. I don't like the song personally, but it's irrelevant now because it ends with, if I had $1 million, I'd be rich. And no, if you had $1 million today, you'd be middle class.
Yeah, but they wrote it in the 90s, surely.
Yeah.
$1 million would have gone a little way in the 90s. Yeah, I need about 150 million. If anyone wants to give me money, I think 150 million is my number. That's what I need.
That would be, yeah, and you probably just have enough time left in your life to spend it.
Oh no, I've got plans. I've got big plans.
Oh, you know what? By the time you're my age, they may have mortality figured out, and
I'll get a
might be
chamber.
one of the first generation to live forever. Forever.
That's the plan.
Wow.
There's a little thing. There's a video of Oasis rehearsing in a place called the Boardwalk, and I'll dox myself completely about where I am because the Boardwalk I can see from my window. It's on the end of this apartment block, and it's now an office with a media center.
Wow.
So yeah, it's got
how
a little
about going there?
face on the front.
Can you get in there and like just do like a not like a document, but like a little short piece to say this is where it all started for Oasis. Here I am in this spot, like like a sacred ground.
I can do some stuff from the outside, but from this window I can see the Hacienda. And there's a little YouTube documentary about the Hacienda and what that was in the 80s. And there's lots of little right here. There's lots of little history.
I would dig that. A friend of mine went to Abbey Road Studios a couple of months ago, and he was like, pinching himself over that. But
that's
where
cool.
Where it all began for Oasis. Not everybody's going to be interested in that. Like, I know
it's probably been done, but there's a lot of music like fan stuff going around. But it is interesting to me.
For you, it might be different over there, but there are a lot of anti-Oasis prudes over here. Like they're almost sort of on the same level as Nickelback
It's just opinions. A lot of people hate the fucking Beatles. It doesn't matter.
Really?
There's gonna be loads of people. Of course there are. There are a load of music stuff.
I wouldn't say a lot, but maybe that's just my perspective. I don't know. Maybe.
But there's a lot of. So you're always gonna have an opinion of someone who likes this and someone who doesn't like that. There are plenty of people who hate Stanhope, right? Comedy fans who hate it, and there are plenty of people who love it. So it's just like.
Yeah, but like I don't know the Nickelback thing. I think you would agree there is a rabid hatred.
There is, and I kind of bought into it because they were annoying. But then why though? Why were they annoying? And they've still got a lot of fans, and they've probably made a lot of decent music over the years as well.
I think they
massive
did.
Nickelback fan, but it's because they got a bit big. They had 2 songs that were really, really big over here. They had the one from the Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
The other 2.
I think some of
That
it has
creates
to do
hate.
with the era they got big with the Oasis too. The time that
Yeah.
they got big, it was a very cynical time where people started to hate anybody for success. Anybody who was
Yeah.
successful and quickly successful in like an overnight way or a sudden way, uh, got a lot of hate, and I think that's part of it.
Yeah, there's still music snobbery with it as well. Well, the kind of basic chords, man. Well, yeah, so what? You write a song, man. You write a song that sells 20 million copies.
Uh, Ian says Stanhope's voice is abrasive, takes a minute to get past it, and then you get into his material. You know, it's funny, Doug Stanhope, because I thought about his voice. It wasn't always that, right? His voice today. Now everybody's voice evolves as they get older, right? But his voice doesn't sound anything like the guy who was introduced by Smokey Robinson in his first television appearance. He was a total different person. You wouldn't think.
Well, there's an extra 20 years of smoking cigarettes and drinking, right? That's what's happened to the voice.
Okay.
And getting older and change, and it's but yeah, people change different. But yeah, I've always loved Stanhope anyway. From the moment the first bit I heard, I was like, yeah, great. But there are people in comedy that don't know who he is, or do you know what I mean? They're like, who's that? It's like, well, look into it.
No boomers. Well, I shouldn't say no boomers. One boomer friend of mine who is very aware of Doug Stanhope, but most of my boomer friends never even heard of him. Never even, and I have to go through the explanation again. Like you don't remember 6 months ago I explained this about this guy and shared some clips. Like they don't. The boomers are stuck on George Carlin and Richard Pryor. Like they can't get
because
past
it was their thing. And in 30 years' time, there'll be a new person that people like and a lot of people don't know about.
Yeah, it's definitely. But I feel like you have to at least try. Yeah, if you give up on new material, new people, new talent.
I think it's dangerous, and I did it for a long time with music. A long time. I was like, I don't like anything past 2002, so fuck off. Right?
Wow.
And it's a bad habit to get into because there is so much good stuff. There's so much good music around now, and
the Bean is a fan of Larry the Cable Guy. Now. I know it's terrible
but I'm also getting a little bit wiser. Like you're into what you're into, and just fucking love it. And people are going to shit on it. People are going to shit on you for what you like. Anyway, so just if you love Larry the Cable Guy, Kevin Hart, go for it.
Yeah. No, I caught myself there fan shaming the Bean. I'm sorry, Bean. I didn't mean to fan shame you, but Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah, it comes back from school, doesn't it? So, oh, you like that band, or you like whatever, Green Day, you fucking loser. You know what I mean? It's the same attitude, but adults, we just keep it through our lives. Like, fan shaming.
Yeah, fan shaming.
It's like just let people like what they like.
I get fan shamed now for for liking Louis C.K. or for still liking his comedy, and
but that's by insane people.
Yeah.
or really jealous or really weird open micers are like, well, that's not okay.
It's weird because I'm thinking to myself that I refuse to get all personally judgmental about Louis C.K. because there's no way I could ever really know all people just think he's a bad person, and for me, he just doesn't come off as a bad person when I see him.
I've listened to a lot of interviews with him for like 10 years. And he always just comes across as has he done shitty things? Maybe, but haven't we all?
Right.
And also, we don't know. No one really knows what went on either way. So just it is what it is. And quite early on, I was like, well, I love his comedy, so that's
now the Bean is calling me a doof. Now, if you're gonna call me a doof, you might as well put the us on the end of it. Don't stop at doof. We don't accept abbreviated insults here. It's doofus. Thank you. I like them at one point. I have guilty pleasures as well. Carl is right. Like what you like. Okay. You just like Carl. You're just taking his side over me.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Right. Carl fan club. By the way, you can Last Rights pod You can subscribe to that on Twitch or YouTube. Get the merch and all that kind of stuff.
Indeed. Oh, I need to do a promo for Mind Dog Radio. I keep forgetting to do this.
An ID.
I need to do. I need to do. I see what I need to do. I need to buy new mics and XLR cables because whatever's going on with this fucking setup needs to go in the bin. But
Glenn Wall. Coming back to Glenn Wall yesterday tweeted that one thing AI will never be able to do is write a joke, and I was like, dude, that's been going on.
They can write an AI can write a joke now, but they're just really bad jokes. But in 5 years' time, they might be able to write an entire stand-up special that's unique and funny. You don't know.
Yeah, but it definitely can write and writes jokes in the style of, you can say, like, write me a joke in the style of Dane Cook, and it'll say, well, first I have to hear Louis C.K.'s act, because it needs to copy. Get it? That's the joke.
Yeah.
But no, you can put in any comedian.
And I'll tell you this now: there will be in the next year comics that just do AI generated material. I fucking guarantee it. And I guarantee that someone's going to go down an open mic with something an AI's written.
Yeah, yesterday Mike Vanderveen and I were talking, and I realized maybe it was the other day with Jonathan Flanagan. I don't remember now. I'm talking to Grandpa. I'm Joe Biden. Thank you for voting for me. We were talking about AI and comedy, and I was like, yeah, AI could write a joke, but you can never envision a time where people are sitting in a comedy club listening to a robot tell jokes. And then I remembered at 5 years old going to Disneyland in Anaheim, California, and sitting there for an hour while Abe Lincoln read the Gettysburg Address to me and believed it was real completely. I mean, totally enthralled. Now, as a 5-year-old, but even my parents were like aghast at how real Abe Lincoln was then. So I could see now, if I think about that, maybe not tomorrow, maybe not in the next 10 years, but I could see definitely a time in the future where we'll be entertained by robots. We were entertained by robots 50 years ago.
You'll have a helmet on, you'll be in virtual reality, and everything will be created by an AI. Everything. All your entertainment, jokes, TV shows, movies.
I'm almost grateful to be dead for it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weird one.
Yeah, I have a tough time just with Marvel movies and these movies that are overdone with effects and CGI.
Evil Ann being homophobic over here. No, this is just a stripy mini. It's just a stripy mini. But yeah, it is in rainbow colors there. And the bowl on the shelf is a Moroccan lamp.
And one last thing I wanted to discuss before I say goodbye for today. I found a new comedy club here on Long Island that I did not know existed.
Interesting.
Yeah. You know why I didn't know it existed? Because it's for the fucking rich people on the East End. It's called Sticks and Stones Comedy. It's in Southampton. Southampton is where all the richest of the rich in
Stan and Co.
Yeah, where Hollywood people have their summer home that costs $25 million for their house,
and they don't really go there much.
Yeah, they go there 2 months a year.
Sticks and Stones. So Eddie Pepitone.
Yeah, Eddie. That's how I found out about it. I got an email from Eddie Pepitone saying he was playing there. I was like, Sticks and Stones Comedy Club, New York, Long Island, with it. And then I did some research on it. I sent them an email asking if I could promote some of their people, get them on here. I would love to get Eddie Pepitone on. This is who I'm working on now, in case anybody wants to help. Eddie Pepitone and Kyle Kinane. Those are the two people I really want to talk to now.
Start working, start treating them right, like you did with Erica Rose. Start sneaking in there and going, "I love you."
Well, I have sort of an in with JT. Not like I'm buddies with JT, but I have a friendly relationship with JT that I could say, can you mention me to Eddie Pepitone? Dave Attell is still on top of my wish list, but that's like wishing Jesus would come and it's not going to happen.
Well, maybe if you just walk past the comedy cellar on a Tuesday and just have a secret mic going. So, hey, Dave.
Yeah.
The interview might be like, hey.
Yeah.
And then, but you could do it.
Ian says Kinane seems busy. I know he's got a new special out, but he took off like 2 years to do nothing, like during the pandemic. Like, maybe I'm I'm just wrong about that. But it seemed to me that he did. Took it anyway. I'm not
I
hopeful,
have no idea.
but I shouldn't say I'm not hopeful. I'm not expecting it, but I'm going to keep trying. I mean, I definitely want to. I've been emboldened by some people who've said yes lately. That I'm thinking, yeah, maybe I could. The more, and maybe this makes sense. Maybe it doesn't. The more I get good people on, the more likely I am to get good people on. Because a lot. Once Erica came on, I got like 5 emails from comics who said, "Oh, I love Erica. Can I be on your show?" I got one this morning. Right before I saw Erica Rhodes on your show. I would love to do your show too. And they claimed to like be friends with her. They probably met her like I did backstage one time, got a hug, and that was it. Yeah, like we're best friends. But so the more I get good people on, the more chances I can get good people on. Not that
Indeed, yep.
not that the people I
Snowball.
have on are not good people. You know what I'm saying? They're not stars.
We're all pieces of shit. You should go and
No,
get good people on.
I love the people who've been on, but they're not name recognition people. That's how I'll put it.
Yeah,
Like
if you, it's good. Once you get a few people on that people know, it kind of will grow and all that stuff. I need to follow up on a lot of admin that I did 2 weeks ago and get some guests booked in again. But I'm slow with it. I don't know why I'm so slow.
Well, it seemed because you put HTML day in one of your tweets the other day, and I was like, "Are you building a website old fashioned writing code?"
I'm building a website by writing code. Yeah.
Why? There's so many off the shelf like
Yeah, but
Wix
I looked at it, but I'll have to pay Squarespace $12 a month, and they'll own the domain. So if I just build my own, which I've done, it's almost ready.
WordPress, you don't have to pay anything for, and
yeah, but I kind of wanted to do it myself as well. It's not the best looking thing. I need to do some image stuff, but I've got the menu working. I've got a little ticket thing. It's going to be okay. I just need to get some images for it now. I think it's all right. We're going to stick it out.
no, I get
pages.
it. I used to build websites that way all the time. The thing Bootstrap changed that a lot for me because Google really punishes you for not having a website that is completely mobile friendly on every device, like tablets and phones and Android and iOS and all that stuff. And it's just such a pain in the ass now with Bootstrap to make sure you get it looking right for desktop, and then you go check out the
I've had it before where I've got it to the point where I've got it on a mobile and it's a bit like the menu's a bit fucked or something like that. But I'm gonna test it, and if I can get it on my Android, someone's iPhone and desktop, I'll stick it out. And if it fucks up, I'll just do it the cheaty way. I'll just go and buy one.
Yeah,
it's just a little fun thing for me to do as well to stop me, headbutting the wall.
But to me, it was always so much fucking work to build sites that way. When I started getting off the shelf stuff, it was like I resisted it at first, like that's for amateurs and that's for people taking the easy way out. I want to code my site my own. And then
you can get some really from like even Wix and Squarespace and stuff and WordPress. You can get some nice looking stuff. And I almost did it. And then I thought, you know what, I'm going to do it myself, and I might change my mind again. So if it starts to look very different all of a sudden once it's out, then that'll be what I've done. But I just like coding anyway. I like writing code. So
Bean says Attell is her savior. Well, isn't that nice, Kelly?
Saving you from what?
You know what? Bean ought to come to Long Island and see Dave Attell's natural habitat. And see, like you have Oasis down the street where they rehearse down the street. You see the atmosphere, the environment that created Dave Attell, and it might change your. It's like if you believe he's your savior, it's like going to Jerusalem and
that's true. Pilgrimage, right?
Yeah, you should come to Long Island, go to Oceanside and Rockville Center and see the Dave Attell, where he will end up eventually being crucified.
Almost anyone that ends up around Napo at some point ends up buried in the beach, and it's just bones under sand at some point, and then he just says it was nothing to do with me, or he buys a house with 7 skeletons and it's nothing to do with me.
Yeah,
there's too many connections. The web's starting to close in.
Right. I found a pair of frog legs down there last night when I went going to
just some legs,
just a leg. Yeah, the cat caught a frog and brought him to me, and then
Half
decided
a frog.
I'm just going to leave you the legs. I'm going to eat the top.
Yeah. Well, I bet if it is a fresh frog, there's probably plenty of meat on the top.
I bet. And then
Yeah.
no, but obviously it was like it was a poison frog or something. I don't know if a poison frog, but it did not. The cat's digestive system did not go well with, and so we found thrown up frog all over the house.
I just don't. Yeah, I'm not sure they even need to be poisoned. I get the sense that there's probably stuff in a frog that's not great for any digestive system.
Yeah.
So,
Especially live.
Yeah.
Maybe cooked, that's one thing, but when it's still alive and you're just eating the top torso as is, raw and chirping or whatever they do, ribbiting, it's probably going to make you throw up.
Cats are crazy, man. I like cats. Definitely like cats more than dogs, but they're crazy, and they would definitely kill us if they were just a little bigger.
And they act like they're doing you a favor. Look, I brought you a dead mouse face. Like, thank you, but I don't want a dead mouse.
So apparently they think that humans are really stupid, slow cats. Like they don't. They just think we're part of their family, but they're trying to feed you because you're dumb.
Right.
Like this dumb, slow idiot could never catch this.
Well, in
So
my
I'm going to
case,
bring him a bird.
they're kind of right. And I am dumb.
They are right. We're all slower than cats, right? So it's
yeah.
They are doing us a favor.
I don't eat right. I don't eat right at all. So you know what? Maybe I should listen to the cat more.
It's going. Why are you eating cheeseburgers at 64, 63? There's a frog.
Oh, you got me.
Good frog.
You got me. I got to become a frog eater. Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, that's a good place to end it up. Enjoy your Froggy Friday. Froggy Friday.
I'll enjoy mine. I realized I'm late for something right now, so I've got to go and call some people.
Oh, sorry, I kept you. Sorry,
no, it's fine.
All right. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna end now. Okay.
Goodbye, USA.
Bye. All right. Time now to bring in my other guest, me. Hello. Oh, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna leave now. I'll show myself out. Thanks for coming. It's been a great Friday morning. Enjoy your Issues with Andy day. By the way, go on Live 365, download the app, or go to minddogtv.com. If you're on Android right now, there's a link to get the app there, and the link to the iOS, the Apple Store, will be up today, or probably today, or at least over the weekend. And so go there, get the apps, and make life easy on yourself. That's the show for today. Don't forget to turn on your radio. Bye for now.
I listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to